In this video, I want to show you some examples of writing a quadratic function in vertex form. So given standard form, we can put the function into vertex form using completing the square method. So let's take a look at example 1. We have y equals x squared plus 6x plus 5. So first we want to move the 5 to the other side to get it kind of out of the way. So let's subtract 5 and then go ahead and put a blank right there. And then we have x squared plus 6x plus blank. So what we want to do is complete the square. In other words, we want to make it into a perfect square trinomial. And so you take half of b, so 6 divided by 2 will give you 3, and then square that number, and that's what goes in the blank. If I add 9 to one side, I need to add 9 to the other side. And then we take our trinomial, so x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equivalent to x plus 3, x plus 3 for its factors. Because we have made this a perfect square trinomial, we know it's going to factor into things that are the same factor. And so knowing that, you can kind of skip the factoring process and just write it as x plus 3 squared. So you won't have to write this step each time. And then bring down the other side of your equation. So y minus 5 plus 9, we just need to put together as y plus 4. Combine the negative 5 and the 9. Now we're almost finished. All you've got to do is get y by itself again, and you will have vertex form. So we just need to move the 4 back to the other side, and we have it in vertex form. So it's really not too bad. So notice from here, we can pick out all that good information we've been talking about. So our vertex would be the opposite sign of what's in parentheses, so negative 3, and then the sign of the number in the back stays the same. So the vertex is negative 3, negative 4. That's our h and our k. And then your axis of symmetry you can get from your vertex. So your axis of symmetry is always the x value of your vertex. And we write it as x equals because it's an imaginary line. And x equals is a vertical line. Okay, so let's look at another example of how to do putting from standard form to vertex form. So let's take the negative 4 and move it out of the way. So we're going to add it to the other side and add a blank. Bring down what's left and add a blank to both the left and the right. And now we want to complete the square. So take half of b, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then square that number, and that's what goes in the blank. So then we can rewrite our trinomial. We know that this trinomial that we now have would have matching factors. So you just have to take x plus half of b. That's always going to be what works out. So x plus 5 squared equals, and then put these terms together, so y plus 29. And then notice you're almost in vertex form. You just need to move that 29 back over behind the binomial squared. So you get the x plus 5 squared minus 29. Alright, so our vertex would be negative 5, negative 29. And our axis of symmetry always comes from the x value of a vertex, so x equals negative 5. And that's it for the first two examples. There will be some more examples in the next video.